Welcome everybody to another wonderful week here at greatnews.life. This is Great News Weekly and I am your host, Jenny Craig Brown. So if you've never joined us before, this is our exclusively positive news show that we bring you all the good stuff happening right here in the region. So come on in, tune in, come hang out with us and have some fun with some good news. If you are new to this, we go live every Wednesday from NWI.life and Valpo.life Facebook page. You can also catch us live on YouTube, and we download this and you can listen to us later if you're not able to listen live on podcast world. So if you listen to podcasts, you can check us out in podcast land as well. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your listening from, you can catch us there as well. So come on in and join me. Tell me what's good happening. We're going to touch on some New Year's resolutions. So tell me what's good in your life. Tell me what your New Year's resolution is. Someone mentioned last week that they had accomplished their New Year's resolution from last year. So if you've accomplished your New Year's resolution from last year, put that in the comments below too. We'd love to hear about it. So first up today, I want to draw some light to some amazing organizations that are doing their part to provide assistance to those in need. Sometimes some of the smallest gestures can make the largest impacts. Take a look at how to get involved with this local clothing drive. Everybody, I want to welcome Jamie Penrose here to Great News Weekly. She's the founder of Calling All Angels nonprofit. How are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm excited to do this. I think this is so fun.
Good. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Tell everybody a little bit about your nonprofit, Calling All Angels, and how that got started.
About a year and 2 months ago, I'd say, I saw online a woman and a man. The woman was a nurse who was on disability from a stroke. Her husband was dying of terminal cancer. They were losing their home. I didn't know them, but I saw they had a GoFundMe and I thought, man, somebody's got to help them because this isn't going to work. And I started commenting below all the people I've ever helped. And I created a group and I called it Calling All Angels. The end result was we got her moved out into a new home. We were able to get her new furniture and people came in and donated the moving time. And he passed, I think about 2 months later, but was able to do that with peace, right? Because he knew she was okay. Since then, we've helped, single moms who've left abusive situations get a car, and people down to little things like a patient of mine at the hospital who just wanted Kentucky Fried Chicken. It sounds so silly, but she's living in a nursing home and has no freedom to make those choices. And so we're about all the little things and then some. And that's basically, I think, us in a nutshell. I just, I'm not rich. I don't have all the things, but I have a big mouth and a big heart, and I know how to get people to pay attention.
Well, bravo to you. That's exactly what we're looking for, is more people to speak louder about the issues that we can help solve. So we're you recently teamed up with Jenny Bennett Bashinsky to help with your new clothing drive that you have coming on. Let's bring her on as well.
Yay.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello. Hi there. Thanks so much.
So Jenny is part of, is actually founder of Orchestrated Events, which is a vendor collective here in Valparaiso. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about the clothing drive, and for those that want to donate some clothes, how can they get involved?
Oh, wonderful. So there's quite a few things that they can do still, being that it's Wednesday. If you want to set up a time to drop it off, you can do that outside the front doors at either the Orchestrated Events. And the address there is 259 Indiana Ave in downtown Valpo. They're open 9:30 to 4:30. And so anytime within that is perfectly doable. Now, if you're looking at after hours, you can always message us. Either you can send a text to 219-508-8767, or you can message us on the event page. There's one more place which Tasha Harvey owns, the After. It's a studio with an eye studio, and she is offering drop-offs as well. And she can also be reached at 574-354-7894 to set up a contactless delivery.
For anybody out there looking, who are you looking to serve, and how can they get that service that they need with this clothing drive?
They actually have two options. So the building is one big red brick building. with 2 entrances. So they can come into the shop, which is Orchestrated Events. We have our own entrance, that's 259. And if they want to come from 3 to 4:30 and kind of beat the after work rush, after school rush, whatever, they would come in that entrance. If they want to come afterwards from 4:30 until 7, they would pull into the parking lot where the Mothering by Nature house is. It's a little brick building.
3 to 7. So 3 to 7, earlier in the store, later in the store. And it sounds like you mentioned it's open for everybody. So women, men, and you said you're going to end up getting some men's clothing as well. So women and children that are in need can come get a brown paper bag and fill it with all the clothes that they can get.
A family, when it's a family thing, men aren't going to be worrying about stuff for themselves. It's going to be, they're going to worry about their kids first, So I thought, well, yeah, and I don't know how to say no to anything, so.
Well, and that's why we're so thankful for you. So again, thank you to both of you. Jenny, Jamie, you guys are doing a fantastic thing right here in our community. And my goal here was to make certain that everyone knew whether they wanted to donate or they wanted to be a part. So thank you both. Keep up the amazing work. And I wish you the best success.
Thank you so much. We're excited.
What a fun Jenny, and Jamie interview that was. I absolutely loved it. And Jenny and Jamie are on and commenting still. So if you guys need any questions answered, they are on. So you can mention them in the comments. Yes, Happy New Year from Jenny. So please make sure to ask them any questions. Clean out your closets this evening, drop it off. It would be a great help. And if you are in need, this is all free to anybody that is in need. So head out there Friday and you can get all sorts of great things from them. So thanks again for having them on the show. It was fantastic. Next up, I want to introduce you all to a local band that has gained a lot of traction. If you haven't heard of shoegaze or dream pop music styles, here's your chance to check it out.
Thank you, Neil and Chrissy, for joining us today. So real quick, do you want to tell us about your band?
Sure. Who would like to start? Neil, do you want to go or?
No, you go.
Me go? All right. Well, first of all, thank you guys for the opportunity. I think it is so cool that you wanted to do this for us. We've been around for a really long time, actually. Neil and I met in the 8th grade and started making music together in high school. And he had a band called Mystified Thinking in high school that was really great. And trying to make a long story short, during that project, Mystified Thinking, he asked if I would sing on one of their tracks. And as he put it, he said he wasn't going to give me a choice as to whether or not I was going to be the vocalist. So that was back. Neil, you're going to have to help me out with the timeline here because...
and it wasn't until the summer of 1999 that the actual first solid lineup that was formed that eventually recorded the first album in 2000.
Wow, that is a long time.
It is a long time. We had this you can tell it, Neil. You're probably better.
We broke up for a long time too. We broke up in early 2005 and didn't get back together until sometime in 2015.
Well, we are very glad you guys got back together.
Thank you. We are too. It's been honestly pretty mind-blowing what we've been able to do.
So for those that don't know, from what I understand, your genre is like a shoegaze dream pop. Can you go into that a little bit?
But basically the music has a lot of effects on it, guitars wise. And so the guitarists were always looking down at their pedals. And so they were gazing at their shoes. So
gotcha.
Made fun of them that they weren't jumping around being
right.
They were sitting there concentrating on orchestrating all the parts with their feet, basically, and that's where the term came. So originally it was a derogatory term that has now been changed to, that's the genre. But it's been called other things. Dream pop is kind of a nicer, cleaner version of it.
It all falls under the indie umbrella.
Gotcha,
so it's just like a subgenre within indie music that's started to gain more traction and become it's very cool to actually see way younger generations now discovering this music and then going on to create music inspired by these sounds.
Okay, so my last question, and I think it's probably the most important. What is the whimsical song that our audience members need to listen to, and where can they find it?
Ooh. What do you think, Neil? We may differ on this. Well, we do have a new album coming out, so stay tuned for that.
Okay,
That's going to be
awesome.
out in April. I personally would say it's going to be a tiebreaker between two songs from the last album for me, which would be Trust and I Always Dream of You. And kind of what I like about them both is they are two different sides of our sound. So some of our stuff is very upbeat, happy sounding, and some of it's a little bit more, dreamy, melancholic, while also melodic. So yeah, I'd go with those two. And Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, pretty much any music platform or streaming platform. And then we are also on Facebook. They could always check out our page over there, which is under, is it Whimsical Band? Is that what we're under, Neil?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
For me, I don't know. As far as a song off the last album, it's probably a song called The Exception, which is kind of a direction that I've kind of been going in lately, where it's noisier and heavier, but then also pretty and soft. It's kind of the loud, quiet, loud dynamic that tons of bands have used. But those two songs are like songs that I would say, here, check this out, if somebody was going to listen to us.
Well, thank you both for joining us today. I'm definitely going to go home and stream those songs. All right, have a good day. Back
Thank
to you,
so
Jenny.
much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Lifer Kayla, for doing such an awesome interview with that band. Whimsical, thank you guys. I know you're tuned in, you're interacting, you're interviewing, you're doing all these amazing things. So thank you so much. What a cool sound. So just in a little bit, you're going to get to hear a little more of that. So stay tuned. But as I mentioned, we want to talk about New Year's resolutions. For 2021, I'm guessing the goal is just to make 2021 a better year. I'd love to hear all of your guys' resolutions, whether that's to have career goals, to get fit, to get mentally healthy, whatever those are. I would love to hear all about them. But we have some resolutions that our audience has shared with us, and those will all be shown to you now to the beautiful sounds of Whimsical. Check it out and listen to them. Fill us in on your guys's. Those were phenomenal. It sounds like a lot of people want to work on their well-being. So whether that's mental health or physical health or getting more activity, I'm working on getting more water in my life. So that's another great goal. Thanks to everybody that gave us their New Year's resolutions. And I hope you're all okay with me coming back to you in 1 year and checking in on those. So hold yourself accountable, because in 1 year, I want to hear how successful you guys were and how wonderful 2021 was for you. But for now, that is my recap of great happening here in the region this week. Please stay tuned. If you haven't, like our Facebook page, NWI.life, Valpo.life, Portage.life, or Laportecounty.life. Like them all, follow us. Please tune in next week, next Wednesday, again, right here for some great news. Have a wonderful week, y'all, and stay positive. See ya.